for many people, this was the first time they saw, wow, there's another woman running for president, and she's actually pretty good. So we've certainly seen an uptick in financial support. We've seen an uptick in support generally.
Our numbers of contributors have gone up dramatically. We have well over 100,000 contributors. 96% of our contributors give under $100. So, yeah, we think we've excited our base.
Carly Fiorina, Senator Rand Paul, just a couple of people saying how they feel after their performances in the debates. Of course, each candidate feels they did well. I would imagine everybody would say that. So who really has the momentum going into a new week, a new phase of the race for the White House? The Fox News political insiders are here, and you can join in on the conversation on our Facebook and Twitter social pages. John Leboutiller, former Republican congressman for New York. Pat Caddell, a former pollster for President Jimmy Carter and Fox News contributor. Doug Schoen, former pollster for President Bill Clinton and Fox News contributor as well. Good to see you,
Good
gentlemen.
To see you,
yeah, I've been on vacation, come back, and look what happens. Who has the momentum now, Doug?
Well, first I would say Donald Trump, from the early indications in a, I call it scientific poll, but with some qualifications, the Survey Monkey poll that was reported earlier today.
What kind of name is that for a poll?
Survey
Monkey.
It's a company. But Trump has stayed even. I think that there's momentum for Ted Cruz. I think John Kasich did well. Rubio did well. Not sure Jeb Bush, and I'm not sure that Scott Walker necessarily did as well as they could. But I think on balance, Harris, as I like to say, the bottom line, the Republican brand did very well with 24 million people seeing a very good debate and performance.
Well, and even more than that when you account for the digital. It was somewhere upwards of 35 million from what I'm understanding. We were doing some social stuff. You're right, digital. So do you agree with that, Pat? And if so, why do you think the brand did well this week?
Well, because all you have to do is close your eyes and think about 2012 in the debates.
Okay.
And, you know, you think of that field up there, and it was not as, I mean, these people were much more polished, much more informed, much more interesting. And I must say, for a multi-candidate debate, riveting. And, of course, then you had Carly Fiorina, who had wiped out the first debate and was actually in this poll named the winner of all the debates, of the entire debate thing, and as well as, they keep giving me a thing from my ear, it's too small. So they were a winner, and my granddaughter Olivia, who won all of her dog shows and now is a junior
oh my goodness, we're digressing here.
Junior Master Dog Show. So that was my win.
Congrats. All right, John.
Well, first of all, I think we have to draw back, and the big story remains Donald Trump. The reason there were 26 million and all the internet people, Trump has done something to politics in this country that is a phenomenon that none of us...
Are you proud of that?
Yes, I think it's good for the country. I think to have an anti-establishment message thrown out there is good for the system, good for the people to be able to vent. And it's not just him. It's Carly has an anti-establishment message, and so does Dr. Carson. And here's what's going to happen.
And so does Ted Cruz.
Yeah, but here's what's going to happen is all the other candidates are watching this that are running. Kasich, Bush, they're all watching it. And they're going to, over time, absorb some of this. They'll put a smoother edge to it, which will mute it a little bit. But this is where the politics is moving. And if you've watched Political Insiders for the last 3 years, we have been saying this is where the country is going. And by the way, we're not there yet. This is still moving. We're not there, right, Pat?
No, I mean, look, we're in August of the year before, and we're having this kind of dynamic, both for Trump and for Bernie Sanders, who drew 12,000 people when they finally got them when the
in Seattle.
Yeah.
In Seattle,
something that Hillary Clinton has not been able to do.
She can't draw 12,000 people.
She can't draw more than a couple of thousand, Pat. Look, we're in a situation where Pat had described this as a pre-revolutionary moment that I think we'd all agree is now moving towards a revolutionary moment. People are angry. They don't want a soft-edge politics. They want a blunt-ended politics.
All right, I want to get to Twitter. Colleen Whitman asks, Harris, out of all the real candidates, and I'm not sure what she means by that, maybe she just means the declared people, who would the insiders most want to see debate Hillary Clinton?
That's a very good question. I would start with John Kasich, did a very good job. Marco Rubio did a very, very good job. Ben Carson, I think, did an excellent job. I think, really, Hillary is so much of an insider, and I know we'll get to her in a second. that really anybody who creates a sharp contrast with her style of leadership and politics will present a compelling picture.
I think the one who is already debating her every day is Carly Fiorina,
yes.
and she would really be the most entertaining debate.
I also think she's compelling. I think
she laid it out. She lays it out on Clinton and on her policy. She knows the issues. And but I thought that also, I thought that Christie, who had been really in trouble, and he may not get enough out of this debate, but he looked tough in this debate. He looked strong.
I want to ask you, since you, particularly you, Doug, and Pat have worked on the polling portion of campaigns before. I'm just curious, what kind of a bump do you get from something like this? What's realistic?
That's a very good question. And we also have worked, Pat and I, with preparing candidates for debates. Usually you don't get that big a bump out of a debate, with the following caveat. In a primary, there's a chance to get more of a bump, and with 26 million people watching on linear TV, 9 or 10 million online, even more. I think what you're going to see is you're going to see Carson probably going up, Fiorina going up, Trump staying even, maybe coming down.
He is up in Iowa and New Hampshire before the debate, so we'll see what happens with Donald Trump.
But I think he'll stay up. Rubio, I think, will go up. But clearly the trends are now being established. I think the worrisome sign for Jeb and Scott Walker is that they have not really shown well in the early measurements that have come out. People want harder edge politics. That's something that on both sides of the aisle.
Real quick, Pat, we got to go.
We have this huge tide of anti-establishment, anti-political class attitudes, which Trump is blown up at different points. And as I said, Sanders has done. But no one has yet taken it as far as it can go. We're really going down.
Trump is not finished by.
But the other part about the debate is it's the news afterwards that also amounts.